Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Feminine Masculine read for you today, as well as a little bit of sand art and oracle cards at the end. We're going to start with the picture of the read. Okay. So today is December 9th, 2018. I'm going to do the sand art first, and then we'll get into it. It's a very interesting read today. A lot of interesting details, some negative energy there, but really positive energy as well. So I'm going to get right into it. The sand art today. The energy's pretty good today, actually. So far, so good. It's not real sunny out today for me, which I wish it were, but the energy is still good. The sand art was bringing up a lot about the masculine, like it's all about me. That was what was coming up. The masculine holding things up, so literally holding things up, but also like delaying things. Also broad shoulders that are holding up many, but also arrogance is coming up, as well as the toothpick in mouth came up again, as well as showing his teeth. So it could be like a ferocious thing. Also a turned up nose, so there may be some arrogance, like I said. Also dark energies coming at him, so he may be reacting to this kind of energy. Also is getting the colors of green, magenta, and gold were coming up. Up the mountains, snow, ice skating, clearing the rink, getting ready for an ice show perhaps, or a presentation. And then I was seeing a sad dog, so it could be figurative, but it could literally be a sad dog. I was seeing him like laying with his paws back like a fish, like that. With his, head down on the floor, sad. His face on floor. Cookie cutter. Shapes, hearts. So then I was seeing, like cookie cutter is definitely a reference to something else, but it was also about the shapes being put out to make cookies. So I was seeing heart shapes, as well as seeing blue lips. So whether it's because someone ate blue ice or they're out in the cold too long, I was definitely getting blue lips blue. Work on traps, so literally trapezoids, but also traps, like somebody might be trying to trap someone. Also muscle work and massage. Also spine, working on their spine, like muscle work around the spine and supporting, lifting weights, supporting his spine. Hand grips and milk cartons were coming up. So somebody could be using milk cartons for lifting weights or for something else. But also seeing hand grips, but not only in weights, like in gymnastics hand grips. I was a gymnast, so this made sense to me. Drifting out to sea. While ladies are laying out or lying around doing nothing, the men are doing all the work. That's the perspective from the men. Also seeing a humpback whale and crescent rolls, raw meat, a mountain crevice, or possibly a meteor strike location or indentation in the mountains. But also with this raw meat was coming up around the masculine, do they not bleed? Okay, so definitely, and my sand art ended again 12:21 today, and I told you yesterday that I posted that video yesterday at 12:21 or whatever it was, and then I'd gone to bed the night before at 12:21. So it's continuing to come up 12:21, very important coming up 12:12 and 12:21. But again, it ended on do they not bleed? So for the masculine, they're going through a lot right now. And for all those masculines out there, for those who are new to watching any of these videos, all of this information is coming up from an objective point of view. It is not a judgment on anyone. The Divine Feminines all support the Divine Masculine fully, and we all know that we're healing issues. So it's a given for the Feminines. We know that everyone has issues that we're dealing with. We're clearing our wounds. So for the Divine Feminine, today on December 9th, 2018, 9 is of the Hermit energy. It's also of endings. It's a compassion, service, universal service, selflessness, the collective consciousness. So 9 is definitely the Hermit of isolating energy, but it's of wisdom. It's the wise old man. He's not isolating because he's in fear. He's isolating because he enjoys himself. He's wise now. He has nothing to prove. And Spirit's connecting with me. You know, a lot of people see the hermit in a different way. There's nothing to prove. When you're alone, you don't need anyone to justify your existence. That's the wisdom of the hermit. Spirit's connecting with me. And right as I started the Divine Feminine read, I was getting that someone might have broken their leg on a horse. So whether I was getting both, this was unusual, but it makes sense to me since I was a gymnast. But I was getting a horse, like someone might have broken their leg falling from a horse, or a horse in gymnastics. So somebody got injured. But I was getting nervous energy around this as well. The day, let's see, we are 23, 32 energy today, which is the 6 of Wands. The 32 is a 5, so it is of that expansion energy. But it's expansion, change, freedom, romance, children, all involve the number 5. But it's also about the 6 of Wands, which is achievement, success, attention, leading the way, getting good news. Okay. So we have the Hermit and this achievement energy, the wise man. Okay, so it's very much of the wise man today. How he learned to expand and achieve through that process. And now someone might be retiring as well today. I'm getting that energy just now. So the read was done at 10:10, turn for the better, number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. And we have 10:10, which has been coming up a lot lately just in the number codes, but this was the time, 10:10. The major arcana that came up are the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. How beautiful. You know, two major positive energies, and both, they were the only major arcana. So that's symbolic of what the read is really about. The Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. So it's very masculine energy and good fortune. There were 2 swords, 4 wands, 2 cups, and 1 pentacle that came up. So it's very action-oriented today, and least of all about money. So it's about getting things done, but balanced in cups and swords as well. But I'm just getting get her done, and that's funny because I don't ever say that expression, but I've heard it before from other people. But I was getting get her done. So 4 of wands, and then the court cards were the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Page of Cups. So 2 nights may be significant to some, so the 11th, and actually I woke up at 9/11 and I just said the 11th is important on the 9th. So 9/11 just came up twice. Okay, which is emergency, you know that. All right, so 9/11 just came up twice, and 2 nights is the 11th. So it's significant. Let's see if anything develops out of that. But since we have 2 nights and 2 pages, it's a lot about children today, if not just a lot of energy and movement, getting things done. Okay? But it's about children, whether it's your inner child or children. You don't have to have any children around you for it to be about children. But it's 2 night energy, which is about teenage to 20s energy. And it can be into the 30s too, but really that youthful, busy, physical energy and loving energy. And then the 2 pages, the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, which I always say are symbolic of the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine's inner child. The numbers that came up, the only number that came up in the coding was the number 2. And 22 came up in the numbers as well. And 24, 21. As one 4-digit number. So 24 broken up and 21 are the Queen of Wands and the World. Okay, so there's very passionate energy here, and the 22 is the Fool in the Divine Triangle as far as numerology and tarot. So we have very much energy about the twins, about the feminine energy in the coding, but that the masculine energy right now is saying it's all about him. And I have to say there's a lot of energy about the masculine in the read, whether it's the karmic or the divine masculine. There was much more masculine information than feminine energy today in the read. But the Queen of Wands was definitely in there again. So that's why I wanted to bring up the 24 and 21, because the World is also coming up. The coding was all about following your dreams, Divine Feminines. Don't feed into any like enemy energy. Just knowing that anyone who behaves that way is behaving from insecurities and, you know, from their lack. So it's to see past that energy. But it was also all about teaching. It was about the mother and child and teaching the children, and also for the Divine Feminine and her inner child. So it's really important to practice, especially with 9/11 coming up, to clear to 0 point as the student of destiny to the Divine Feminine woes of energy or money or time, whatever your issue is at the moment. But it's saying to follow your dreams. The Wise One is coming up as the Queen, the Mother today, okay? And God, 0 point, okay? That's God, Source, Creator. Teach students, okay? So whether it's mother and child, or teacher and student, or twin to twin, it's about teaching students about fortune, destiny, and driving was coming up too. There's definitely teenagers learning to drive right now. To drive, juggle, and balance their money. So it's really significant about teaching your kids right now how to drive, how to juggle, and balance and finances, all that kind of stuff right now, especially during the holidays when people are out spending a lot of money. So it's about, like I said, mostly mother and child, but it could be any adult and child, or teacher and student, so it could be adult to adult, whatever the case is. But all about following your dreams and how to deal with your woes of time, energy, and money. When you follow your heart, all of that will fall into place, and staying present at 0 point. That's how you create balance. And then I was getting the song Silent Night. So literally I wrote down, silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin, mother and child. So mother and child was coming up again here. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. So it's how, and Spirit's connecting with me. Okay, so it's all about peace. And teaching our children well, to be tender and mild. Okay, so as we get into the read, the wise, either the wise, what was coming up there? Yeah, the sage was coming up on top as the Queen of Cups. Okay, so in the Syrian Starseed deck, all the queens are actually called sages, but in my coding, this was pronounced on the Queen of Cups today, and this is the not the underlying energy, but the card beneath that coming out. So she's being shown as the wise one coming out today beneath the Knight of Swords. So there's her announcements. So the Queen of Cups coming out with announcements, or coming out. She is dropping burdens to come out and teach children or her twin about destiny, dumping what they thought they knew about love, lovers, and affection in 5D messages, announcements, and being the messenger of truth, and teaching them how to do this themselves. The 4D rainbow bridge was coming up here. Is maybe seeing the sky, so there may be a lot of people seeing rainbows right now. Oh, and I have to show you, I didn't see a rainbow this morning, but the sun here was so cool and mysterious. I wanted to show you the energy. This was the sun today. I don't know how much you can see it on here. Maybe it's back here is better, but it was very like mysterious and foggy. And it's much brighter than what you're seeing. It's very white in the middle with a lot of beautiful buttercup Mary Magdalene yellow around it. And then it's just all foggy clouds around it. It's really beautiful. It kind of reminded me of Barnabas Collins. So maybe that needed to come up today. But the 4D rainbow bridge is maybe seen in the sky today. Leads to success and glory. Learning to lead the way to the pot of gold with truth, opening of the crown, and then mushrooms, feathers, and herbs were coming up. So this is, and tails. So it's very much about shaman energy. Twins and or children, together in their innocence, can teach many. Teaching, sharing, guiding, and giving to support peace and the ill and the drained, to move forward, how to work in love with possibly what you've loved to do as a child. The underlying energies and spirits connecting with me. The underlying energies for Divine Feminine is worth waiting for, and beneath that was soulmate. And the worth waiting for is a very beautiful card. I'm going to show you that one. Okay, because it's very pure. Okay, divine timing is at work in your love life. And you have very strong angelic energy and of the children in this card. Okay, so again, there's a lot of purity coming up here, you know, with Silent Night and the children and the angels. Okay, purity and peace. The white light. And I just showed you the sun. It was very white in the middle with the buttercup yellow around it. So, free from some divine feminines, but this also could be coming up for the masculines. I'm not going to really delineate or decide what applies to who, because it's going to be self-explanatory that most of this is masculine oriented, but if it relates to the masculine and a feminine, then take it as regarding you. Okay, so you have to take this in as it applies to you, and if it doesn't apply, don't make it fit. If it doesn't resonate, let it go. So, free from a marriage and or home. So someone may be moving or leaving a marriage. Feeling victim of avoidance and narcissism. There's a dark healer with possibly a ripped cornea, and I was seeing this as a message. So the narcissistic in the Tarot Sexual Magic, I'm going to show you this card because he's very narcissistic, okay? This is the energy coming up as underlying energy. I want you to see it. But you also see that the pure doves or swans up there flying. So he's coming up, but around him, when I was looking at him, I was seeing a dark healer, okay? And ripped cornea came up, which is really random. But expecting their daughters to cater to their every whim. And again, this guy, you know, he had like a snow hat on, so something in winter, but you might also notice that there's a birthday tier on his hat, so it might be his birthday. And then I was getting, they say it's your birthday, well, happy birthday to ya, from the Beatles. And, you know, he's got this white beard, and that was coming up too, so it might be a kind of a creepy Santa Claus. And I'm getting that this guy also expects like strippers or hookers for his birthday, so obviously this is not the situation for everyone. I'm bringing up everything I'm getting, all the downloads, and they could all apply to you, or none of them could apply to you. So take what fits and leave the rest. Because I'm getting, when I do these reads, I'm not only just getting reads from the cards, I'm getting downloads mixed in as well. So anyway, I was getting this energy was very uncomfortable for me. Okay, and I was getting it could be a father, a father-in-law, or an uncle even, of the divine masculine or divine feminine. Okay, this person. But he's not just narcissistic. He's not a good person. Okay, there's a lot of people who are narcissistic who do a lot of good for people. I was not getting this energy from this person. Because like I said, he like, I don't know, I just was getting I was getting negatives. He might be a child abuser as well, whether it's just physical, emotional, sexual. I was getting all of those, okay? But the divine feminine was, the underlying energy for her was all about healing and self-discipline. So if this is someone you dealt with in your childhood, it's about healing those old wounds and being self-disciplined about it in your spiritual practice every day, and not, you know, a lot of people put themselves back into family situations with people who have abused them. You do not need to stay in any situation like that. You don't need to sit down at the dinner table with someone who you're uncomfortable with. If you've forgiven them and they've changed and you're on good terms with them now, you know, more power to you. That's great. But do not feel like you need to be at a holiday dinner table with someone who has abused you out of obligation. Okay? And Spirit's connecting with me. It's very important. Do not abuse yourself again by doing that. And like I said, ultimately we're looking for forgiveness. But if that is not where you are right now, there's no point to you abusing yourself again. You are not obligated to that. And who cares what your family thinks? If they don't love you enough to tell the narcissist who abused you to get out, then you need to take yourself out of that situation. So someone, and I was getting energy too, that there's someone, whether it's divine masculine or divine feminine, there's a man like this, and they're staying in their situation because they don't want this person to have access to their children. Underlying jealous passion with a sting. Now we're moving on to another negative situation around the Queen of Wands energy. She's coming up upright, like everything's cool, but everything below her it's totally not what she's showing to the world. Okay, so don't be fooled by this energy, and don't assume someone's bad when they're not. But I'm just telling you, if you already suspect this is underlying energy, it's already happened, you know this, but this is what's coming up under her. So there's underlying jealous passion and with a sting. Branding and ownership was coming up. So whether it could just be as light as someone who is in the branding industry and marketing and that kind of stuff, but it's also getting ownership, where this is someone who has a jealous passion with a sting and feels like they own the person they're with. What was once smooth as clockwork, the sand of time, is now hot potatoes or a hot lobster dropped on the floor and in trouble for wasting time and money. The dogs put outside as not to see the inner workings behind the facade of the calm, cool-looking Queen of Wands, queen of the stinger, probe, and branding. Okay, so where she could be very dynamic in her work or whatever it is she does, and what I just said isn't even coming close to the negative energy I was feeling. I was getting between the narcissistic Hierophant, and this Queen of Wands energy, that people around them, or one of them, loses their shit, was this expression I was getting. And the dogs are itching to get out. That's how negative the energy is. Okay, so the Hierophant energy and the Queen of Wands could be the same person, or they could be two separate people. If they're separate people, I would say the Hierophant is worse than the Queen of Wands, but there's jealous rage coming out here. So, and that has to do with her, not the narcissist. So, but again, they could be the same person, so it could be. So after the dog's itching to get out, I was getting a pot of gold, that was at the end of the rainbow, is on the boat and now gone. So someone's pot of gold might have been their boat or a ship. Or maybe their ship has sailed, now gone. That's what I'm getting. Deception on the high seas. A jealous rage of the Queen of Wands, who looks like she is calm and cool, but is really underlying deceit and imbalance. Okay, she is deceptive and imbalanced. Her facade may have been exposed at the new moon in an announcement or 5D messages. And there's a bold move to happiness, or this could be just literally be straight arrogance in a split that was exposed. But someone coming out as all happy about it when it's a lie. And then I was getting driving Miss Daisy. So I was also getting that this Hierophant Queen of Wands could be a narcissistic mother, Taurus, Aries, Leo, or Cancer, who lost their license and is now expecting the kids or their grandkids to be their servants and drive them everywhere. She could also actually have Cancer, but is not showing or telling anyone. Okay. But she has jealous rage in her, though, so it's not just about losing her license. Okay. The Queen of Wands using children as workhorses is exposed, possibly by a Queen of Cups announcement of 5D messages. The Queen of Wands could also be using their kids' talents for her own attention, pushing a kid to work harder so she can live vicariously through their fame, achievement, and or money. And now, in relation to this, I was getting a kid who got injured, possibly this broken leg, in athletics or whatever they were doing. And the kid finally thinking they're going to find peace because they really don't want to do this anymore, which is very typical with sports, when the parents are pushing the kids to continue with sports that they're really good at. It was just 24-42. Um, but instead of the kid finding peace because they were injured, they were put right back to work, whether it's being forced to do the athletics on their injury or put to work at the family business since they can't do that. Right, so this kid was not getting peace. And the 2442 is the Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups, okay? So this has to do with, could be a mother and child, connection here. The energy is coming up here with Leo, Cancer, and the Queen of Wands, who is arrogant. If she is arrogant, she is a liar. It's coming up as she's duplicitous, at work with children. And then I was getting rumor has it, so she might be spreading rumors as well. But everything looks upright, shiny, and clean on the surface, so don't be deceived. Narcissism is definitely out there. The foundation for the Divine Feminine, and that was all about the underlying energies and the recent past, okay? So the foundation now going into this read is about taking a risk with your downloads. Collecting them or saving them may cause instability in your co-creation or possible purging. Or moving to come together at work, or collecting them or saving these downloads may cause instability in your co-creation abilities. Someone else may be saving for a home to move their home or work, or moving to come together at work may be a risk for them. You may be moving to be with your twin. Okay, and this is definitely coming up next to worth waiting for in your soulmate. Okay, so there's definitely some twin energy. But it could also be, children or parents, family. There's definitely that Two of Cups energy coming up. So whatever you're moving for, whether it's work or your home, it's to come together with someone who's a soulmate. Centrally, the energy is all about the Knight of Cups. So this can be upright or reversed energy depending on your situation. But I was definitely getting this attached to the jealous rage. It's also an offer of love. The Emperor reversed and Hierophant reversed were next to each other, both reversed, okay? So this is at the Emperor out of control. Emperor reversed can sometimes be like they're losing their ego, which would be a positive thing. But I was not getting that with the Hierophant reversed and the energy that was around it. It was very negative energy. I was getting a Hermit out of control, desperate to express themselves in a split, losing their temper, insecure, manipulating, performing for tricks, exposing a whistleblower with a protection order, turning their back and choosing path of depression and loss of hope. So there's definitely energy. This was all masculine energy here. But there are different situations here, okay? There can be the Hierophant and Emperor and the Hermit. The Hermit, they could all be one person, or they could be two or three separate people, okay? And above the Hermit, I was getting, which we haven't gotten to, the Emperor again and the Empress. The Emperor and Empress, the Emperor and the Hierophant were coming up a lot in this read because that narcissist was a Hierophant as well. But above the Hermit, which also can be Virgo or professional energy or the wise old man, he had two clarifiers of the Hierophant and the Emperor reversed on them, which could be him or someone else. But above him was the Emperor and the Empress. So I was definitely getting there's certain definite situations where the Emperor and the Empress are the parents of the Divine Masculine. Okay, it could be divine. It could be parents of a karmic as well. But I'm getting this Emperor and Empress like ignoring their son. Okay, and the son desperately wants to express themselves, and I was definitely getting as the Divine Masculine because he wants to express his true authentic self, and the parents are ignoring him. Okay. So we're going to get into that because that's further into the read. But the challenge for the Divine Feminine has to do with destiny of an unhappy family and standing up to others, standing your ground, defensive about socializing, possibly at church, or being patient with constant partying in a marriage, or an emotional affair with angel in marriage, or commitment or contract issues, okay? But all that was coming up around the Hierophant again. The Emperor, the Hierophant, and the Hermit, like I said, could be the same person, or they could be two or three separate people. And if they're three separate people, the Hermit is the good one. Okay, and the other two are negative. Energy coming up here was Aquarius, Aries, Sagittarius, Taurus, Scorpio, and Virgo. So now, in the present moment, was all about taking risk in offering love to a new passion in a third-party situation. Okay, so definitely divine masculines may want to come forward, but some of them are having trouble with their parents because they're of a different belief system, or monetary system, or social system, whatever it is. It also could be a karmic having problems with their parents. Needing the courage to be inspired, to express feelings in a possible heated exchange with the Queen of Swords reversed. Okay, and this could be the divine masculine just assuming the divine feminine would be that way, or needing to confront the Queen of Wands who will become the Queen of Swords in this confrontation. Okay, so going forward in a separation, so it could be divine masculine dealing with his mother, his karmic, the mother of the children, or the divine feminine. Okay, it could be any of these three situations, but he's concerned that whoever this is going to, it's going to turn into a heated exchange. So it's getting it more as the Queen of Wands energy, that he has to tell his truth to this person. Okay, about going forward with a separation. Okay, so definitely coming out about wanting to be separated, or due to separation, and then due to a Queen of Pentacles reversed and a King of Wands reversed, and their new passion. So they're coming up reversed, obviously, because it's a third-party situation. And the King of Wands could definitely be coming up as just really exhausted, especially if the Queen of Wands was being like this, really draining him. And then the Queen of Pentacles may just be ungrounded. Or it could be karmic energies of the Queen of Pentacles and King of Wands reversed. Queen of Pentacles could be overspending, and the King of Wands could be losing his temper, you know, or be out of control. That could be the Emperor Hierophant, which were both reversed, could be the King of Wands, and then the Empress could be the Queen of Wands, so that could be the divine masculine and his karmic. So it just depends on your situation, okay? But the Emperor and the Empress are ignoring jealousy of a new passion or flame. Okay, so whether it's them ignoring the twin flame, third party, but it also could be the parents ignoring the sun. Okay, the Scorpio, Virgo, Aries, Taurus energies are coming up here, who's desperate to be heard by these parents or by this couple, and that he is an angel of God trying to get his parents to wake up to a new life, or this third party is trying to get this couple to wake up to a new life. The Knight of Cups is taking down the establishment, though, transforming, putting his butt on the line. It could be the divine feminine as well doing this, but I was getting it more as the masculine, putting their butt on the line for a romantic tie, you know, finally coming out and doing this. Soon for the divine feminine is the twin flame card. I mean, it's literally two flames in the Syrian starseed, okay? It's also could be a choice of path, but that is as the twin flames come up. Soon the 1, 2, and 3 of flames all came up. This is very powerful. And it's just 33, 22. Okay, 33 is the Christ vibration, then 22 is the Fool. So it's very, very strong Christ consciousness and freeing yourself, a leap of faith. Okay, a fresh start. So the twin flames present to unity as one, walking away and within in order to release themselves. The divine feminine is the Page of Wands energy. This is how she's seeing herself, masking her desire with the opportunity to learn possibly about narcissism. Attention from dysfunctional family at night comes to light in the conflict, expansion, and fighting energies. So whether it's the divine feminine dealing with her own karmic situation, someone she's still living with in a marriage, who she's separated from, or with her parents or family, there's certain narcissism that from her childhood that's coming up to be cleared. Wedding and keep an open mind were the cards that came up for the divine feminine, which is all about this involves marriage, and to just keep an open mind that your love may differ from your usual person, right? There may be an opportunity for the divine feminine to learn from a narcissist on how to lead and expand their fortune, since they are usually very good at this. you can teach the narcissist about love and opening their heart more, okay? So this definitely can come up at family situations with the Christmas holidays coming up in whatever religion, the Jewish holidays as well. It may present an opportunity for you to learn from each other, okay? Not all narcissistic people are evil, they just may be narcissistic. Okay, so, and we all have that energy in our families, so it's about learning from each other. Around you, or how you are seen, is the Page of Cups, open and innocent, or the rejected, presently Queen of Wands reversed, or you are present to the Queen of Wands reversed and her negative energy right now, and rising above over isolation, or coming out of over isolation, but rising above also the bad decisions and any deliberating or vacillating you've been doing, or the Queen of Wands around you is doing, or up nights over isolating because of indecisiveness or prior bad decisions or poor judgments, presently physically exhausted. The Divine Feminine needs to clear blocks about staying present, okay, because sometimes that might feel boring or incomplete, okay? Clear blocks about being present, without going forward, without going back, about feeling complete, allowing the purge, because after the purge you become whole again. There's a reset as the King of Cups, that unconditional love energy. Okay, so allow it. Allow there to be unconditional love, and to be present to it. Follow your dreams, and even more importantly, follow your intuition. You get your wish and happiness through expansion, through learning from others, and from examples that you wish to emulate. Surrender to be the messenger of truth in union with the King of Pentacles reversed, even if he is reversed, transforming to putting it out there to a romantic tie. So this King of Pentacles reversed, he may be going through transformation and still struggling with it, but actually putting it out there, making an effort to his romantic tie. The King of Pentacles reversed drops his burdens to defend your honor, confess possibly, and possibly stand in his truth. Over his grief, loss, or regret of the past, and hanging in limbo, is hanging in his wisdom to see a new perspective. And then, voila, epiphanies, and or major change and upheaval. Okay, definitely the clarification card we ended on was the Tower, which for me, I think is great. But the solution card was the Two of Pentacles, but in the Syrian Starseed, it's literally surrendering. It's giving it up to God. So there's 5D messages, rushing in with truth of announcements, passing on downloads, inspired to expand the heart even more to happiness, energy, and exposure, offering love to destiny twin flame, two as one. And then I literally got two hearts that beat as one. Our lives have just begun. And it was 3811, which is the Queen of Cups. And then right after that, I actually just sent out some energy of love right after that. And then I got Kung Fu Fighting. So Kung Fu Fighting, but in a silly, fun way. And that was at 11:59. And then, so two as one, in a new passion of surrender to the light. Okay, and that was the read. And I'm going to pull you some oracle cards as well. Really, there were some really difficult energies to process there. Especially for the Divine Masculines, so please have compassion for your Divine Masculines who are probably going through a really tough time right now, dealing with different energies. And just knowing with the holidays, you're going to be, we're all going to be dealing with some of that narcissistic energy coming up. And to maybe learn from it instead of rejecting it, opening our hearts a little bit more to being more understanding of where that comes from. But not to subject yourself to someone who is literally abusive. If they haven't changed and you haven't forgiven, you should not subject yourself to that situation. But of course, it's always your choice and your guidance. So you need to listen to your guidance before you go into these situations, okay? Take a deep breath, everyone. This is from the Ascension deck. What is the message for everyone watching today? What does everyone need to do? What does everyone need to know? Doughy came up. Oh, yesterday. I might bring a little bit of that up after I do the oracle cards. I'll have to look back. There was a couple messages from yesterday that I wanted to bring up. But all right, so what is the message for everyone today? December 9, 2018. What are the messages for everyone listening for the highest and best good of all those concerned? And this one really wanted to come out. Okay, the air. And Lord Maitreya is at the bottom, which is number 30, which is the Four of Wands, or the union energy. Okay. And 30 is the 3 of self-expression, of coming together. Definitely for me, it's a union energy. Lord Maitreya is the head of the Great White Brotherhood, the beings whose auras radiate the pure white of integrity and high intention. So I guess the purity stuff was coming up with the swans and the children, all of that I already brought up. Okay, so drawing this card suggests it's time for you to examine every area of your life carefully. Practice purity of thought, word, and deed, which again is the white light energy. You're asked to be an example of right living, for your light will then draw many to the ascension way. Your reward is the peace that passes all understanding, and the joy of flowing smoothly on your higher path in life. And the affirmation is, I connect with the Great White Brotherhood and radiate pure white light today. That's the underlying energy. And then air came up, which is number 12 for December, and wisdom. Okay, and that also is a completion of a cycle, the number 12. And it's half of 24. And 36 is the 10 of Wands, which is the laying down of your burdens, okay? So there's a progression there. From wisdom to the Queen of Wands passion to the laying down of the burdens, okay? And it was just 4141, which is the Ace of Cups. The element of air supports truly magical cosmic qualities. Sylphs are air elementals working for the elemental master Dom and supervised by the unicorns. You're guided to ask the unicorns to direct Dom and his sylphs to spread the qualities of air, enlightenment, ascension, enthusiasm, freedom, and divine vision into the minds of those who need them. Also ask to purify currents of air and blow them to polluted areas so that they may be cleansed. Help the fairies work with flowers by acknowledging and appreciating them. And the affirmation is, I invoke air to carry angels singing around the world and bring hope and peace. I thought there's some, oh, that's what it was. There was something else I wanted to tell you before I forgot. So this card was number 12, which is another 3. Okay, we had the underlying energy was 3, and then the 12, 3. So we had 33, and then 12, 3. So it's very much about 3, which is the third energy. It's the coming together. Okay. The Holy Trinity. Okay. The third party situation. So very much of that energy. But it's also the number of joy. The person who smiles, who loves anyway. Okay? Alright, this is the past life deck. Clear line. Take another deep breath. Alright, what is the energy that we need to know from the past life deck? What is the message for the highest good of all those concerned today? Here we go. Came right out. And galactic. Oh, galactic is the bottom of the deck. And that was at 4343. Okay. And I was just getting 4 suns. So that might apply to someone, especially since the other cards that came out. But I'm getting 4 suns, and now I'm seeing the 4 posts of the 4 of Wands and the galactic connection of your union. And not ships came out as one of the cards, so I'm also getting spaceships around galactic. Alright, the 2 cards that came out for you guys, ships and father. Okay? And both came out in the read today. So this is very significant. And then we have 3s. And don't forget we had 33 and 22 come up, and then it just hit 4444. Alright, your angels are there for you if you need help. 4444 and 44 is the 4 of Cups times 2, so it's like both twins in the Four of Cups energy, which is grounding and integrating this family energy that they're about to deal with. Okay, so we have father of this is a little child. It could be a girl or a boy holding the father's pointer finger. It's on their left hand. Okay, because the left side of the masculine is the side that would be, nurturing with their children. And the ships, and I was definitely seeing that ship. The ship has sailed, but also I was literally seeing someone who lost their ship, or like I said, the pot of gold is someone's ship. I was getting a couple different situations in that either something happened to someone's actual boat, or that someone was stashing money, or something very valuable on the boat that was then lost because of someone didn't know it was there, or someone stole it. Yeah, so if anything resonates with you, let me know. But I'm also getting, with this ship card, often I see blinds or blinders, closing the blinds, opening the blinds. Taking the blinders off in the father relationship. Also the past life issues with the father sailing and all of the traumatic things that happens on the high seas. But this ship is pure. It's like a ghost ship, what I was just getting, but of purity. I've just thought of QE2. I don't know if that's significant to that, but the mothership, the mother lode. So all these things may be significant for some of you. So please comment below if that is the case. But there's definitely issues need to be worked out with the father. It could be the father's boat that we're talking about, but also who needs to take the blinders off, and especially too about their kids. So there may be kids who did something wrong, and then they lost a lot of money because of it. Or maybe fathers whose ships sailed with their children because they weren't there for them. And now, the father is seeing them as not having learned what they wanted them to learn because they weren't present. Or it could just be spending time with a father, with their children on a ship or on a boat, to spend time together, to reconnect. Okay? So for the journey of love now, okay? Take another deep breath. I'm seeing the red. I don't usually notice the back of these cards, but I'm really noticing the red, orange, and yellow today. So there's definitely passionate energy coming out right now in a whirlwind. The divine feminine going into the storm. Getting wrapped up into the eye of the storm. This could be either the masculine or the feminine. It's really not the person in here. You can't really see if it's a masculine or a feminine. So either one, just getting like caught in the eye of the storm. And then the Tower was the last clarification card, which could be the storm, but it also can be very positive epiphanies and things like that. So what is the energy? Take another deep breath. What does everyone need to know? What is the advice this December 9, 2018? What does everyone need to know today? What is the advice for everyone for the highest and best good of all those concerned? What is the energy today? What do they need to know? Okay. The underlying energy is 55, which is the Ace of Swords, the truth. It's a lot of change. 5-5 becomes a new energy, and 1. Okay, and this is about acceptance of change and truth, and that which can't be seen. That's the underlying energy, and the Lovers is right below it. Okay? The Lovers is right below the Acceptance card. But this Lover's card is 57, which is the Three of Swords, so it's the third party situation and acceptance of the truth. Of the feminine energy and of the breaking. Okay, it was just 50 and 11, which is the Ten of Cups and Justice. So there may be some divorce coming through here, or some kind of settlement in a contract or commitment. Okay, but this is the card that came out for you guys. It's the breaking. It's number 65, which is the King of Pentacles, which also came up at the end of the read. And the breaking. So something breaking apart, obviously, whether it is a relationship, a commitment. There's definitely the final breaking in a third-party situation. And can be marriage as well. But it's all surrounding the truth. And 65 is an 11 as well. And 50 was coming up with the 11, so it's about the family, and it could be a sham fam as well. 65, the breaking. You are breaking apart. You might not understand it at all. There's not much to be understood. But the simplicity doesn't mean it's easy to endure. You may worry that you're going too far, that you may not recover, or ever come back together again. But what can you do? Can you hold back from the divine love that calls you, that lures you to becoming all that you are, to remembering your divine nature? Well, you could try, but for what purpose? Temporary rest before the storm at best. So take the rest if you need it, and then dive into the storm. Let yourself be broken-hearted by the divine, so that you can become your truth, become all that you're meant to be. It is better to have the heart broken so that it grows, than to be broken-hearted by thinking that you must protect yourself from love. This oracle brings compassionate guidance no matter what the sadness or anger. And it's 5151, which is the King of Swords. Okay, so the truth. That could be a lawyer or a judge. It could be divine. It's very much the divine masculine, being very logical. This oracle brings compassionate guidance that no matter what sadness or anger, despair or frustration you may feel, you're being pulled apart not by dark forces, but by the loving embrace of the divine as it strips you of that which would keep you from your divine realization. Let go and break. It is going to be the making of you. So it's very much about the divine masculine, since the King of Swords came up twice, 5151. That this breaking is more about the divine masculine energy, which can apply to the divine feminine as well. And the poem reads, Love. Love is a special closeness that sings from the heart, that warms my days and nights, that feels good and makes me smile. It makes me glad to be alive. Okay. So it's just a reminder that love feels good. It does not feel bad. It does not feel evil. It does not hurt. Okay? To remember that. Okay? And let me just go back real quickly to see if there was a message from yesterday that I wanted you guys to know. And I might pull you one more card from the Rider-Waite as well. Alright, let me see real quick here. Let's see. Oh, I can't remember the name of the movie I watched last night with Woody Harrelson. It was an old movie when he was younger, but it was actually really good. It was about he was a doctor and he got kidnapped by a prisoner who he had to see as a doctor. But if you know what I'm talking about, it's really good. I thought there was something. Bewitched just came up. Something else I wanted to bring up from yesterday was in categorizing your life. You know, when I talk about the law of attraction and going with the flow, you always want to focus on the area of your life that's doing well, so that you go with the flow and don't block yourself. But I don't like that everyone titles things, you know, your work life, that area of your life. But we know that our work isn't supposed to be work, right? So here are some titles you might want to label the different areas of your life so that you know where to go with the flow, okay? So instead of work, you can use the word of creation, creation of love, your love life, which is fine, inspiration, clearing space instead of chores or obligations, clearing space. What do you need to do? Are you in a clearing space mode? Nature, friends, family, bliss, and integrating. So let me know what you think about that. So when you think about the compartments of your life, if you use those terms, there's always something positive there, okay? There's no negative connotations with that. Creation, creation of love, love life, inspiration, clearing space, nature, friends, family, bliss, and integration, or integrating, okay? And well, I guess that's it for now. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to pull you one more card from the Rider-Waite. Get my hair out of it. Okay, so everyone take another deep breath. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay. What is the energy for everyone watching today? December 9, 2018. For the highest and best good of all those concerned. For all those watching, what is the advice for everyone? What do we need to know? Okay. Alright, so the bottom of the deck is the Hierophant, which came up all through the read, so it's very significant today, okay? The Hierophant, let's see what's below it. Okay, and that's detox. Okay, so we're letting go. We're detoxing anything around establishment, commitment, contracts, marriage, okay? Traditional. We're detoxing. Walking away, okay? These are the bottom 3 cards. Okay? Detoxing and walking away from things that are no longer for our highest good, okay? That's tradition, establishment, the old templates, whatever it is. It doesn't mean you have to walk away from a marriage if you're happy. It's about commitment, establishment, institutions, all of the traditional things, okay? The cards that came up for you guys, okay, which is just like the card from the Journey of Love that came up, that it's all about an ending, okay? All right, and allowing the process to happen. The third card that came up was the Chariot, okay? So this is transformation. So this can be suffering, it can be stress, okay? It can be just staying up at night, not being able to sleep, okay? You could be just dead tired, okay? And this is very much about the masculine energy right now. You know, they can't sleep at night. They're transforming, and I brought this up too, that's what they're using the third energy for right now, is to go through this extreme transformation, okay? So they can come out bold and ready to ride, ready to move, ready to ascend, okay? Very strong and brave, okay? So please be compassionate for your masculine energies, whether it's your masculine or your divine masculine. You need to show a lot of compassion right now. And just make sure when you are in that energy that you do get enough rest. You know, stop. Treat yourself well. Love yourself. Okay? Drink your water. Get your rest. Get out into nature, exercise, do what you know makes you feel better. But don't overdo things. And you know, if you're not sure, then do nothing, or meditate to try to get a different perspective, or hang on your inversion table to get a new perspective, okay? any which way, guys. Rise and be love, okay?